Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
So that's what you're gonna do? You're just gonna say mean things to me as a narrator? I ought to try that next time. Joshua looked in disdain at the many people who couldn't be bothered to put a like on his channel, even though they have been watching him. What up, my wolf pack? It's your good boy, Pitch Black Wolf. Alright guys, we're playing another Hunting for Games where you guys recommend the games to me. I play them, we play them together though, alright? It ain't just me. We doing it as a team, as a unit, as a hack. Okay? Alright. Thus, the whole Hunting for Games and Pitch Black Wolf. We're a pack, okay? I'm gonna count on you guys, alright? Alright. Now, we are sinking our teeth back into the Stanley parable. That's right. Yep. I saw some heat on this, so I'm going to keep it up. Now, it's asking me my time again. It said I could pick my favorite next time, right? So that's what we're going to do. And this is an angel number. Yep. 9/11, I keep seeing it all the time. Good for her. 9:11 p.m. Your favorite time of day. Oh, wow, this game. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious. How accurate 9:11 p.m. is? Let's use another slider to find out. Well, it's 9:11 a.m., so very, very inaccurate. You could not get any more inaccurate than that. Matter of fact, it's actually 8:59. That's right, Wolfpack. I came on early. What's up? See, I'm not always late, so cut the chat, man. Sometimes I make up for it. Anyhow, very, very, very inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be said. Okay. It's good to collect data. All right. There's a certain level where it's creepy. I wish we had more sliders. But we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Okay, no. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. I didn't sign for that. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. How many boot ups are different in this game? Like, how many times do I play this to get all of these dialogue? My God.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is a multifaceted story.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
We already know this. We already know all this. And then everybody's gone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, wait a minute. Are we playing Portal? Yeah, because look at the numbers. The numbers are the same color, like the orange numbers and stuff like that. And you go to, like, the test experimental areas. Oh, snap. We're playing Portal. No wonder why there are so many worlds of stories in this game. Okay, we're off. Okay, all right. I'm going to do exactly as you say. Big red buttons be darned. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to push any buttons. Nope. My mama would be so proud of me not pushing any buttons. Go ahead.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I went to the left.
He entered the door on his left.
All right, I'm to the left. To the left. All right. I'm left.
Yet there was not a single person here
Tips
either. Feeling a wave of
unbelievably
disbelief,
amazing work
Stanley
all the time,
decided to go up to his
or
boss's
promotion
office, hoping he
recognition.
might find an answer there.
Ugh. I already don't like that slider.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right, now this is where you got mad at me because I didn't know the code, but you said it out loud, so I didn't put the
Stepping
code
into
out.
his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
See, what I
But
could
of
not
course,
have known.
Stanley couldn't
Have possibly known this. So why would you tell me it? Oh.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, okay, sure. All right. He just guessed it. Shoot. You wasted that on lottery tickets. Should've got some lottery tickets with that guesswork. Load.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
Mind control
facility.
Escape. No. You said I went straight ahead. I'm gonna go straight ahead. That way we can really appreciate the deviations. Idea button? Yeah. Bing!
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I'm here. Oh, that's where I was when you reset me. Yes, I already know that there's a bunch of screens, and we're all just numbers, and they're collecting data. Okay. All right. Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Fired!
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What are you talking about? That's security. Every desk is gonna have a camera. And make sure you don't do something wrong for the business. So far, this ain't that bad. So far, this is just they've got probably guards sitting here, and just monitoring, making sure no one messes up, and the peace is kept. Hey, man, that's kind of where you got to be on the balance beam. Your privacy versus security. You know, this game's gonna make you think, y'all. Ooh. I'm willing to sacrifice my privacy if it means that I can keep me and my loved ones safe. I'm sorry. That's just where I roll. Bathroom? Do you need to go to the bathroom, Stanley? How is that possible? You don't have any organs. You don't have anything in between there. Can you imagine a game where you look down and you actually see stuff between That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But realistic. They'd be getting a realistic points for realism, you know. Okay.
This mind control facility
was
too horrible to believe.
How is this mind control?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Well, if that was the case, I wouldn't be here making my own choices. So...
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Where am I?
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it?
428.
Was it even
Or
possible?
427.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I'm pretty blind right now. Okay, there we are.
Here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, but there is a terror in that, taking away the people that tell you what to do. You have to then make your own decisions. This game is it's going to be one of these types of games. They're going to make you think. They're going to make you think. I can barely see. Can I go up the stairs? I can't go up those stairs. What about this? This looks like stairs I can go up to. I can't. What? Can't you open the gate or something? No, you can't. All right. Look for buttons to push. That's what this game feels like. Just find some more buttons to push. Button 1. 1. Oh, 2. Uh-huh. And then is there a 3 somewhere? 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the club, so come on, let's jive. What is that one? Is that 3? Nope, that's 5. Goodness gracious. 5. How do I get 3? Is this 3? That's 3. 3. Okay. 4. 4. Watch it be something stupid like Stanley learned that he could count. Don't know what that is. Not gonna try it. 1, 2, 3. 4. I need 4. Where's 4? Is it up there? Because if so, I'm in trouble. I can't jump. I can't go up the gate. How do I climb? Is there any other buttons? Oh, I can crouch. What? I'm doing squats. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2. I'm telling you that's 4, but I don't know how to get there. It's too dark. It's too dark. Can we turn the lights on? Is there a way to turn the lights on? Huh? Do you guys turn lights on? Can I push the green button? Push the blue button. Push the blue and the green button. No? Push the yellow button. No, I don't know. I need lights. Facility power. Ah. Mind controls idle. We about to go in the IMAX? Oh, awesome! This is your employee benefits? You get to go to the IMAX for lunch break? That's awesome, dude. Dude. Oh, that's crazy, man. All right. What would I watch? I watch Fast and Furious on IMAX.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So you want me to hit the off button? Yeah, but I'm trying to get the why is it taking so long? I'm trying to get the that right there. 4. How do I get to 4? I get a feeling that's a point of no return. 4. Just look around, I guess. Maybe there's a button that can turn the lights on so I can see what I'm doing. Or, yep, I already pushed 3. 4 has got to be the one up there. Okay, let's reverse engineer it. Alright. Go here. Going down. Go down. It goes down. Yeah, no, it goes down like that. So there's a gate. Can I open the gate? Open the gate. Open the gate! It won't let me open the gate. How am I supposed to do this then? Crawl. No. Can you crawl like this? No. I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless let me see something. Subtle background opacity, yet subtitle background opacity. Okay, no. Is there a way to adjust the light? Delete save data, no. Low dexterity. I don't see a way to... That stinks. Alright. I don't really see a way to switch the lighting, but I mean, I would be able to open this. Do I need to just keep on clicking, click. No. Nope. Don't know what you want me doing here. All right. What's this thing do? Okay. Do I need to turn the... No, he said turn it off. I'll turn it off at first, and then we'll go from there. Alright, time to watch my IMAX movies. Harry Potter. I'd watch Harry Potter on IMAX, most definitely. Turn it off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
And what is he gonna do about it?
Mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
but to let go. Wow.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives,
no longer would he have a paycheck.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Hold on, let me admire it just a little bit more. What's over this way? I can't see anything this way, so. All right. Here I go. I'm gonna step through.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
The heck are we, King
and
Kai?
Stanley was happy.
Land of the Kais? Beat the game. Oh, well. Okay. Yeah, me. All right, time for variations.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going to do things a little different now. Yep. Here's what I'm going to do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, actually... Yeah, I am going to listen to you. I am. Because we're going to go... Yep, we're going to go this way.
Yet there was not a single person.
And then I want to see what
either.
escape does.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
Keep
Stanley
up with me,
was
narrator.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, no, get this off my channel. Get this off my channel. I don't want to relax.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
No, I'm not
Stanley
rejuvenated.
calmly walked forward into the
just
opened
happened? What just
passageway.
What just happened? Okay. All right, we're back on track. Going down, I want to see what escape does. I wanted to get all 4 of the buttons, but apparently I can't do that. Oh, what if I turn it on? What if I turn mind control on? Ooh, and then it will
Stanley
turn on the
walked straight
system.
ahead through the large door that read Mind
Control
Facility.
facility. Yep, I did. I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna hit the idea button right here. Aha.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, all right, camera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
All I care
Each
about
bore
is
the
that bridge
number
coming
of an
to me.
employee in the building.
Yeah,
Stanley's
that's
co-workers.
sure,
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Right,
And
yep.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh no, security! How dare us? All right, 427. There's me. There's me. 427. That's my desk.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't
got
be
fired?
true. Had Stanley really
Oh,
been under
there's one.
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind. You're starting to sound low-key
here was
like
the proof.
Futurama.
The heart of the
Welcome
operation.
to the world
Controls
of
labeled with
tomorrow.
emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
Watch this.
machinery would never again exert its terrible
Yes, it
power
would.
over another human life.
Yes, it would.
For oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes, I
After
did.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were
mind
supposed to let it go.
No.
The controls
Now it's my turn. I'm the
Story
boss.
off track. You're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Oh no!
Long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine.
I gotta push the button.
You
I gotta
are
push
the
the button.
star.
I gotta
It's
push the
your
button.
story now.
Oh
Shape it
my
to
God.
your heart's desires.
Oh my God.
This is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them
I
is.
think I got this.
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Oh no.
What all this means.
no.
I barely know where to start.
3.
What's that?
3.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Narrator,
I
how could you?
erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
5.
Watching you try to make sense of
What?
everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
I don't know what else to do. I thought
My
5 was the
goodness,
last
only
button.
34 seconds left.
No!
Doing this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
No!
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30
Goodbye
seconds you
in
have left to
24,
struggle.
27.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I
All
will
these
be
number
laughing at
buttons
every
for
second
nothing.
of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
You tricked me with the buttons? There's no purpose to the buttons? Hey, wow, I can tell actually what time it is right now. That's pretty neat. Alright. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone.
gone.
What could it mean?
Alright.
Stanley
so
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
you just can't let other people be in control. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Oh, well, I guess we'll be going this way. Okay.
Hello, and thank you you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Hi!
As you may know,
Oh,
the
this must be
Stanley
Ultra
Parable was a
Deluxe then.
video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
It's been 2020. It's been out for 2 years.
Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I don't like needles.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I ain't stepping. They're pushing me
this
in.
sounds
I don't have a
delightful.
choice. Well,
I'm very
of course I
excited to
don't.
see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Watch it all be a joke.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Sure. Are you the same dude that did the Little Big Planet narration?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we
Might be.
be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I don't want to go anywhere with you. You blew me up.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
The jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see.
jump.
It's the jump circle.
I'll be able to jump. I'm done.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I want. I'm actually jumping. We get to jump! We get to jump! I bet there were people that were complaining about not being able to jump in the game, and then the content creator was all like, alright. Won't let me keep jumping! That's crazy. Oh, more content.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
I'm
ready for whatever it is.
I'm not ready. I don't want it. Well, it does look at least a little bit better. What's down there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
And blow them up too?
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Not like
What
always.
do
You
say,
killed me.
friend?
You are not my friend. Oh. I was enjoying going under the sign. What? What happened? Can I go in? Oh. Narrator. I think it's time for you to realize we're in a situation.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
No, you blew me up. I don't want anything to do with you.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
I don't want to go anywhere with you. You blew me up. Oh, I'm back. I'm back to this. Oh, the new content is closed. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
I want to try
he
escape.
entered the door on his left.
Okay, so now what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna escape before we get to.
Yet there was not a single
button.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I did. I walked to his boss's office.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Oh, surprise.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. I really do.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, I didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Really? All right, well, Stanley, at least we go out making choices.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope. Nope. If I'm going out choosing my own path.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's right. Come on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he realized that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
Oh,
He
no!
doesn't know the real story.
Oh, no!
Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I can't jump!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Except not. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here! That's right. What is this? The Stanley parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What's up, EB Visuals? I didn't get a chance to go on my Instagram yesterday. I had to take care of my sick wife, but she's feeling so much better now. I'll be able to check it out while I'm at work. Since I work in car sales, I just stand around all day. So I'll definitely have free time then.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Huh? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It's like a game museum. I get to actually learn stuff. Quarter. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. Okay. Flying cabinets? Yeah, okay. All right. Office computers. The 2 doors. The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Okay. The office. Okay. Button sounds. A selection of buttons used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I pushed all those buttons and it did nothing. Did nothing. Credits. Written and designed by Davey Redden and William Pooh. Or Poe. I don't know. How's your wife doing? She's doing a lot better. She's doing a lot better. She, this is how she was talking. She was talking like this. And I told her, I was like, we're going to have to get you to just text. You're Ariel. Your voice is gone. Just text. And she's just like texting things to me now. Praying God keeps her healthy and strong. Yeah. She's doing a lot better. Thanks for your concern. She's going to be fine. Crows. Developed by Crows. All right, Crows. David Redden and William Pooh. This is quite the game. I've never played a game like this in all my life. Never. What's over here? Which way do I go and which way do I not? Okay, the office. Okay, there's the elevator. An early version of the maintenance room. Okay. 431, 436. Okay. I want to check everything out, so we're going to go over here too. And this is all credits. That's kind of cool. That's pretty neat, because there is no like end credits, so this is how you find it. Okay. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game.
Now look closely. Anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Narration outtakes. Kevin Brightening, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game. Snow? We were going to have snow?
Nothing there. Shoot. Well, when Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility. Stanley pushed the big red button.
See, big red buttons are meant to be pushed. All right? I stand by my original thought, my original claim. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Right, but is it freedom because every choice I made had to be, I had to choose what he wanted me to do. Is that really freedom? Y'all want to go deep? We'll go deep. Yep. Yep. You want me? Got me playing this type of game? Don't expect to not drown in the deepness and profoundness that will be this episode. Countdown room. An early version of the countdown room. Okay. Looks kind of boring. What's this one? Ooh. Are these like hints of where you could also end up? Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. 427. That's my desk. Hey, that's my desk. It's my desk. What's it say? Something about a boss. Hard work. Hate boss. Something hate boss. Alright. I feel like I've been there. Or have I? This place is a maze. Whoa. Subject. Urgent response needed. From Wong Young. Please, I would like you to keep this proposal... Dead strong, bud. How do you type with boxing gloves on, Ben? Okay. What do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. You gonna reply on IG? Yeah, I got you, Evie. You'll see me probably at 12. They have me doing calls. You'd probably see me at 2 today. There's a skeleton inside you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Oh, wow. That's very true. A question brought forth by the intense passion for my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I don't... Why? How? Subject question. Will the game feature capybaras? What? Okay. Alright. I'm going now. How do you stay in shape? Michael the Rock Martin. Dear narrator, how do you stay in shape? Like they actually see him. When playing the Stanley Parable. Are you okay? Okay. After the second trailer we asked people to email narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Previous thing as work and standalone title. Okay, all right. I can't read because you're going too fast. All right. An early version of the lounge. Oh, and it didn't have like that weird level going down. Cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. The cargo lift. I don't remember that, but okay. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Okay. Three, two, one. What is that? Okay. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, what? A timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, it's good that we're doing this because now we're kind of understanding what the choices are, you know? Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Okay. Meeting room. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Zending. The screenshots depict an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Interesting. Okay. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Why? Why did you do that? The power button. Begin the game again. Resume the game. Options. Return. The game is now paused. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Oh! When the player restarted from the escape menu. Okay. Got you. Yeah, because I'd be mad too if I ended up going back. Countdown. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Countdown ending? What was that yellow thing that opened up, though? What was that? Though? What was that? Can I escape the countdown? Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. That looks like Kingdom Hearts, Winnie the Pooh area that you're walking down. Yeah, no. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Oh. Interesting. All right. Countdown room. Early version of the countdown room. All right. Okay. Yep, this is the same thing here. Okay. I think that's that.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
What's the narrator's name? Do I turn it off?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Are we talking about the relationship between God and humanity?
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time...
Okay. How about I quit the menu?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Alright. Gonna die anyway. Remember what she said. We need each other.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa! I feel like I'm about to be playing some Elden Ring.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
The memory zone. Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally
watch
launched?
yourself, sir.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it
Little
all
Big Planet,
meant
right?
something. Oh, the waste.
$1? What's the memory there? Or $1 is extinct? Well, they should be. It's inflation the way it is. What can $1 buy at this point? Stanley Parable deals tough choices. I wasn't about to try and read that tiny text.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
No.
Every game ever created.
No.
That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
You ain't no Call of Duty.
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
No.
It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Nah, I'll read it. How do you review a game like Stanley Parable? To describe any one part of it is to risk its ruination. To detail what it has to say about game design, the illusion of choice, and the psychology of the gamer is to tell you too much. Comparisons, too, are going to be woefully inadequate. Perhaps its closest cousin would be Dear Esther, where Dear Esther wastes the form of interactive entertainment. Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to the standards of any other title is simply not going to be correct. So how do you review what has become known as the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it, analyze it, and recommend it? That's quite simple. You don't. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Am I going the right way? I don't know anymore. Yeah, this was this side. Oh, there's a down. Memory zone maintenance. Fire.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Oh, but you got
The
it.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't
perfect
need
would be
anything
10.
else. It didn't need new content.
It needed an extra
All they
score.
had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Okay. I have always been someone who wants to go the wrong way first in games. When I sense that a game is trying to usher me down a particular path, to get me to run from left to right, or maybe to charge straight ahead, I need to satisfy my instinct to go against the grain. Yeah, of course. Honestly, that's how you get the secret chest. To get me to run... But then again, are you really going against the grain when everybody else is searching for hidden items too? Yeah. to explore to see what the designers have put back the other way. Sometimes I find a one-up or a collectible stashed away to reward me for my intrepid behavior. At other times, my explorations are rewarded only by the crushing disappointment of running up against an invisible wall. Whatever I find or don't find, my action is a manifestation of my desire to exert some independence, to make my own choices within a system that severely limits my options and encourages certain specific behaviors. The Stanley Parable feels alive in its responsiveness to your choices and its desire to subvert your expectations and keep you on your toes. I think of the Stanley Parable as a sort of video game analog for Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze's brilliant film, Adaption, which gently mocked the ways in which so many films manipulate audiences with formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learn huge life lessons, while simultaneously moving me with its formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learned... Wait, what? Formulaic plot twist. Okay. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and in other systems too, like our workplaces and our families, and a game that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. Going the wrong way has never felt so right. Yeah, the game wants you to defy it, because it's got plans for every defiance you do. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know any other game that does that. The serious room. Okay, well, I have boxes in my way. I can't get to the serious room. All right. Is that where FM is? Sirius FM? Yeah. Okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
No, probably not. Probably not, because you didn't put them on the wall. We will always remember the better times. Yep. Or actually, no. Isn't that the opposite? Remember the worst? But yeah. Oh no. Oh no. 2.9.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Excuse me, I was trying to...
It's a serious work of art.
I was trying to read that.
I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
You know what? I needed to read that, and you took it away from me. Oh God, is this a quiet place? Is that what this is? Pressurized gas reviews. Oh, we got more pressurized gas reviews. Oof. Are you ready? Are you emotionally ready for this, narrator? Okay? I don't need you yelling, alright? You're in my ear right now. Don't yell.
Okay, let's see what this
The
one
game is good. It
says.
becomes very repetitive, boring.
Well, the
fast,
idea for the
despite all
game is good.
game
For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel
please.
like a failure.
Oh, please. You're
Like
going
I
to
let
get...
these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remember.
It's sterling for the people that are on your channel. Listen, anybody who wants to be a YouTuber, you better get used to this. You better get used to having some people go, I'm not recommended, I don't like it. Okay, well, that's you. Alright? I'm not here to try and get the whole world to like me. I'm just here to find my audience. That's the attitude you have to take every day, okay? You got to take your now, of course, you know, healthy criticism. You can listen to what they're saying and then be like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'll try that. But if it's just not for them, and you know that's the core of your channel, don't worry about it. You ain't here to please everyone. You're here to please the people that are supposed to be in your channel. All right? All right. Am I too preachy? I might be a little too preachy. All right. Okay. This is some creepy music. You can stop with that right now. Oh, good. Another review. You're obsessing, narrator.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead
no,
for just
see,
a moment,
if you
surely
listen
it
to
couldn't
it...
hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
How many
Only
positive did you have over
reviews of the
negative?
Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and
No.
it's always been my motto.
No.
I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
No. See, this is what happens when you obsess over one person, over a few people being negative at you. You can't do that, because then you compromise the people who are having fun with your game. No, with your content. All right, YouTubers. I'm throwing knowledge at you, y'all.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here,
No.
we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for
I'm not going to skip, because I enjoy dialogue.
Just yesterday,
Again,
here and there, forward and back, and
you'll
never
get a
moment
glowing
before
review from
lunchtime.
me.
It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction
I was
therefore
wondering if you'd
becomes
get mad at
impossible
me
to
not hitting the
manufacture.
skip
It
button.
went on for nearly 10,000 years.
Oh,
Just yesterday,
that's different.
here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is.
It changed
so on
though,
and so
didn't
forth,
it, at
until
the last
inevitably
bit?
we all until the end of
I
time,
like that part.
at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years.
Okay,
until
it's
just
the same.
yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
A year! All right. It's just me now. It's just me. He gave up. He gave up. It's just me. That's okay. I'll be the narrator. It seems as if all walls closed in on him. Yet, of course, with a keen eye, he found a door. But the door was not a door, it was a gate. And I think we're in trouble, Stanley. I think we're in trouble. Because now he can't. What's that? Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Why are we beep, beeping? A fire alarm? Uh-oh. A fire got started?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one...
Okay. Does the button come back up? It does. It does come back up. Anything over here? No? Okay.
The end is never the end, is never the end.
Hey, that's in the load!
The end is never the end, 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 is
Hey, are you okay?
is never the
Hey.
end, is never the end,
Buddy.
is never the end, is never
Hey,
the
buddy.
end, is never
Buddy.
the end, is never the end,
Is it never the end?
is never
Okay.
the end, is never the
All right.
end, is never the end,
I
is
think he
never
just
the
loops.
end, is never
He's
the
just
end,
gonna loop.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
I'm trying to
is
see.
never
I'm
the
trying to
end,
hear
is
if there's a
never the
loop on
end,
him.
Is never the end, 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 is
I think
never
that's the loop.
end, is never the end,
Because it goes
is never
slow.
the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
And
end,
then he'll
is
do it
never
again.
the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end,
Yep,
is never
yep,
the
yep,
end,
that's a
is
loop.
never
All
the
right.
end.
That's some creepy stuff. I bet he's in a padded cell by now, narrating to us. Dilapidation! Oh, snap. Oh, snap! Where do I go? Still can't jump. I really would like to jump. Okay. Oh, it's daytime. Can I get a snack, bro? How many years has it been now? Because it just keeps adding, right? It just keeps adding, okay. Oh, cool! We got a little terrarium. Alright. Hey. Okay. Starting to feel like that character from that movie Skip. The one with the, what's his face? What's his face? What's his face? He does all kinds of producing. Adam Sandler. Goodness gracious. Yeah, one with Adam Sandler. Okay, this is creepy. I'd like to skip. Oh, yeah. I'd like to skip. There's some little nightmare sound going on here. Nope. Skip. Oh no! My skip button! Oh. Freedom. Except there's like nothing. What is this, dunes? I'm free! I have no idea where to go. Stanley, quick! Come up with some content. Build some sandcastles. Just gonna keep going this way. Where are we going? Is it? Oh, okay. And we're back. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. It's gonna be crap.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, thank God it faded. This one. Yep. Get into that mini putt-putt carpet. There you go. Yep.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
What?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
2? Okay.
Yes, you see,
And is that
isn't
where
this
the end
far superior
again?
to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Taste the sequel. Really?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe. What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
You just have the
Let's
title?
take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure
talk to me
that if I can
before
loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay, so you have nothing to show? Is that what you're saying? So why is there a show for? You said you have nothing to show for it. All right, well, there we go. Show floor. New features. New content.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the... I'm sorry, what?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Right.
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I don't like that. What's my name?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim.
Jim, come get your breakfast.
Possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I don't want to be.
So, then please step forward and press the button.
My heart broken, my dreams crumbled. No, I don't. You can keep Jim. You can keep Jim. To push the button again, you want me to? Whoa.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
No, I'm done, dude. I'm done. Oh, I can't. Well. Is this a window? It's a window. I have to do it again. I have to. All right.
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
My analog stick is drifting. There we go.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim! I want to be Jim! Broken dreams! On the boulevard of broken dreams. How do I get in there? I want to be Jim. I'd like to be Jim. All right. No Jim for me.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, Well, we'll figure that out later.
Collectibles. That's new. Collectibles. Free trophy? I mean, hey, that puts points on the board. Let's go. Give me a trophy. Free trophy. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps. Okay.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Really? Really? I'll get a trophy? Yeah, from my PlayStation?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I want my trophy! Oh. Okay. So I don't get a trophy. I don't get a trophy. I thought I'd at least get a trophy on the PlayStation 5, but all right. That's fine. Whatever.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles. Can you find them? Can you find them? Whoa, this is the atrium?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting more of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Hey! Hey now. What do I do? Oh snap. I don't know where I'm going. I sure hope it's this collectible I'm trying to get. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Look at all of them clamoring for this thing. It's mine. Well, now we know what Stanley looks like. Yay, I collected one.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
This is why the actors should not be making sequels to a game they did not write. Stick to your lane.
Goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay?
No.
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
I don't want the bucket.
No? You're just going to ignore my advice? Fine. No fun new content for you, then. You're the one who spent money on this game.
Hey! That bucket is probably going to be like water bucket. Alright, let's go find your bucket. I figured we could complete this game, but... bucket. Infinite hole. Your mom has an infinite hole. Oh!
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. but I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
You forget I don't have a voice. So... Oh. Step-niece.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
My wife...
Get Well Someday it is.
You little... My wife does that to me, okay? She always asks and then picks the opposite of what I do, okay? How do you think that makes me feel, huh? Very unvalidated. You know what? You know what? I want that one. Joke's on you. I actually didn't like this one. I like that one. I didn't like you, narrator, so I picked the one I didn't like. Ha ha. Oh, you little...
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Is everybody sick? Get well someday? Ah! That's why everybody's missing. They all got COVID. What? You gave me all these stairs. For nothing. Infinite all settings world champion. Nope. Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. There it is. The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
So if I didn't, then we would have... Okay. Alright. That's fine. Whatever. Jumping's overrated anyway. Alright. Merch. You have merch. The end is never the end again. This t-shirt is the best new feature. I saw the new content. The Stanley Parable 2. Okay. Okay. Bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Reassurance
It's the
bucket.
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps
It's caged!
even comforting.
I can't get
You
to
may
it!
even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
I want
And
it!
to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Yeah, it
And in
is.
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, well, thank
I
you.
think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Yes.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I'm carrying it the whole way.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
It sounds a little like I'm having a bit too much fun. Yep, this old mattress sound is what this is. Mm-hmm. Alright, stop. Alright. We exit here. Whoa.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features.
That's what you said they do.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
I'm stuck with this
Would
bucket,
it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Is that
All right,
me?
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
That's me. Okay. Dude, what's going on here? Why is it all red lights and curves and all that stuff? There was a game I played that was like that. You played a woman capable of, like, shooting these creatures in an office space. It was crazy. It was fun. I don't remember what it's called. We're in the Upside Down. That's what we're in. Alright. Begin the game. It's the same, isn't it?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Well, that's not
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Okay.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427
I don't
did
remember
every
seeing
day,
that on the screen.
every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
You have. Look at that
Stanley
gamer.
was happy.
Look at that gaming software.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Not the balloons. Oh. What? What's that? What? Huh?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to
Bucket!
pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
What bucket? Oh, you put the bucket on. Huh. It's my decision.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right. I'm going to try something a little different. We're going to go in a pattern. I'm going to listen and then I'm not going to listen. And we're going to see where that ends up. Not listening.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, that's the same.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Have I done it this way before? I don't think I have. Well, I'm kind of curious. I don't know about this one.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
So that's what you're going to do? You're just going to say mean things to me as a narrator? I ought to try that next time. Joshua looked in disdain at the many people who couldn't be bothered to put a like on his channel, even though they have been watching him. They shirk their responsibilities. Did it work? Did it work? Did y'all feel bad but not angry at me because I didn't really say it out loud?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
taking the
Perhaps
bucket.
he had simply... Stanley picked up the bucket.
I have the bucket. I have the bucket of power.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Do we have anything more to say? What time is it now?
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure.
Getting close.
Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
An employee lounge? Why? Why would a bucket feel at home in an employee lounge? Boom.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
Really?
Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Well, bucket. I'm just looking at the time. So the shorthand. Okay, the longhand is no, that can't be right. It is not 11 o'clock. No, it is not. Oh, I set it a little bit higher up, didn't I? Okay. All right. Well, what's that? Leaves. Look like boogers for a second. All right.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
throwing
cargo
voices
lift,
now?
yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
Different
question
than
why
the
or how
bucket.
this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Where is this?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
It's a
So
bucket.
much of
Calm
the
down.
impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't want a tutorial. I'll take it back. I'll go this way. Oh no. Oh no. Throw the bucket away. Oh, I can't throw the bucket away. All right. Is this a
Now then,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Is not.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
I'm not that
To be honest,
stupid.
I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Ah!
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Where Reach is at with this music? A little bit of Halo too, come to think of it. Oh, that song's What's Up? All right. Everything is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay.
Not my bucket! Not my bucket! No, my bucket!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go. A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
What happened? Oh, bucket. I won't take the bucket because I want to see what happens originally.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
What's that? No bet? Something darker? Go on. What was it?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Number one, Dad. I love Mom.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
All right, just for that, I'm not listening to
But
you.
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No, I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
The narrator was so mean that Stanley refused to cooperate with him. I can do it too, see?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
Because
we've
I'm a
gotten off on the
YouTuber.
wrong
No, I'm
foot
an announcer.
here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
He
I
lied.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No buckets past this point.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
I won't.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what.
You've
Let
given
me
me
take a
nothing.
stab in the
That's the
dark
best.
at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I dare you to ask me to review. I dare you. Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Okay. Good old Neil is offline. Skid is offline. Doors open. Doorsteps taken. Endings achieved. 18,000 endings achieved? Skip the intro sequence. Only the worst 3% chose the blue door. Oh, they're more attractive than Stanley. Does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve Stanley Parable's career.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some
He's
playtesting.
ignoring it now.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
I like
Because if
wings.
it's the latter, well, I don't know what
I like
to do.
wings.
I'm completely
Fried
out of
wings.
ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
I made him
It's
quit.
over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Is this? Is
Well, it
this?
seems obvious to me that you were meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep
The lookout.
tower, perhaps
Yeah.
for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Did they create this game too?
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more.
That's it.
Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I used to do that all the time in high school. Actually, middle school. Dude, they're advertising the other game. That is kind of cool. Yeah, something happened. Game crashed. You lost my face, but yeah, everything else seems to be working fine. So we're good there. Yep.
Open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
No!
Preferably something with walls.
Open!
Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Oh. Jonesy Lake. Yeah, this is definitely the game.
I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Is this
just a nice
Rocket
big box
League?
for you to run around in.
It
There
is! I
any
see it right there,
possibility
Rocket
that
League!
You could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Did Crows make this one too? What?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are
give me
lots
a
of
soccer
cars
ball.
here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought.
You didn't work
And
hard
I
on it.
realize
You're a
I'm not
narrator.
a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Yeah,
Yes.
soccer.
Oh, goodness, that
soccer.
really does feel amazing,
Soccer
doesn't it?
in the mouth.
Stanley, I'm like a child
Wait,
in a
what?
confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Sock it to her good, soccer. All right. I should probably stop before I get demonetized. Oh. Balls.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Balls.
Are you
I am.
having fun?
I am.
Is this a real video game?
Yeah.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good
It
time,
would be
because
better
guess
if you
what?
stopped
It's
talking.
over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game.
Balls!
I say goes.
I want
You get to have fun
balls!
when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you... Hold on. What are you doing?
You didn't predict that, did you? Whee!
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Ooh, creepy. Creepy. Oh, peace and quiet, y'all. I can't commentate in this game that much because he goes. He just goes and goes and goes, man. That's all good. It's the kind of game we playing, but you know, okay, all right. Can I jump? I can't jump. Okay, well that wasn't helpful.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
I think they're talking about the second coming.
Wait.
Oh. Okay. So, and then we're back. Yeah. And we're back. Okay. All right. Cool.
All of his co-workers...
We're gone. Yep. All right. The sequel is now paused. I have this pause screen from now on. Wow. You know, this is a crazy game, and I have to admit that this is something that I probably would have never really grabbed onto if it wasn't for my friends. So appreciate you guys bringing out these recommendations. It's just insane, like the amount of effect that happens with every choice you make. Just little nuances that end up happening because of the choices you decide to do. Because we did this sequel ending, now all of a sudden the pause game is just the sequel, and then now there are balloons flying around. It's crazy. It incorporates all of what you do in the game, even though it's like a small thing. It's all these little things becoming a big thing based off of the decisions you make. It's nuts. I love it. And guys, please, I would love to see some more support on this. If you guys did enjoy, please bite that like for me. I'll be ending it here. But I will say I'll be back on tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, and I plan to do this again unless, I don't see the likes coming in. But so far, you guys are really liking this. So I'm going to really like it if you like it, because this is like a standalone. I can't think of any other game that does this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all the other variations we can uncover together. All right, because that's really where the attraction lies. It's not just the decision of choice. It's the fact that even while you're on a similar line for the story, plot line, you can make a huge twist with just one decision you make, turning left instead of right. It's nuts. It is nuts. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. I will run with you all real soon. Pitch Black Wolf. Oh, somebody just followed. I can't read it. That format is very, very tiny, and my chat box disappeared. But I appreciate that support. Someone just followed while I'm about to leave. Ain't that the truth of it? People come on when I'm leaving. All right. Well, anywho, I'll be back on 9 a.m. Eastern. I appreciate the follow, my guy. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got thrown off. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Run with you all real soon. Pitch Black Wolf. Ow!